Welcome to Glorious English, the channel where stories open your mind and help you learn English easily. But today, I want you to imagine something shocking. A man looks at the sky through a small telescope, and what he sees could send him to prison. The moons of Jupiter, the strange surface of the moon, the truth about the sun, all these secrets were hidden from the world, and one man dared to speak them. He faced danger, powerful enemies, and a world afraid of new ideas. This is the unbelievable and courageous life of Galileo Galilei, the man who changed our view of the universe forever. Galileo Galilei was born on a quiet February day in 1564 in the city of Pisa, Italy. His family lived in a small house not far from the famous Leaning Tower. Money was always tight, but the home was full of music because his father, Vincenzo, was a musician. Little Galileo grew up listening to gentle sounds of the lute and the soft humming of his father practicing melodies. Sometimes, Galileo picked up the instrument and tried to copy the sounds. But his father quickly noticed something. His little boy was not only good with music, he was endlessly curious. He asked questions about everything. Why is the sky blue? Why do bells sound different? Why does a feather fall slowly? His father smiled, but worried too, because curiosity did not pay bills. As a child, Galileo enjoyed walking through the streets of Pisa. He often stopped at small market stalls, where old merchants sold colorful glass bottles, metal tools, and strange objects from faraway lands. Galileo touched everything. He once poked a simple pendulum lamp hanging inside a church and spent half the day watching it swing. That moment changed his life. He noticed something interesting. No matter how high the lamp swung, it took the same amount of time for each movement. This small discovery filled him with excitement. He ran home and told his father, who simply nodded, not realizing that this tiny event would one day become a scientific breakthrough. Galileo's father hoped his son would become a doctor, someone with a stable future. So, when Galileo grew older, he was sent to study medicine at the University of Pisa. But Galileo did not enjoy memorizing medical texts. Instead, he stared at machines, gears, pulleys, and anything that moved. One day, during a boring lecture, he heard a strange sound outside. Students were building a machine to lift stones. Galileo rushed out, leaving the classroom behind. He spent the whole afternoon asking the workers how each part moved. His teachers complained, but Galileo felt alive only when he was exploring. Soon, he left medical studies and began focusing on mathematics and natural philosophy. He loved solving problems and explaining how things worked. His reputation grew among students because he used simple examples to explain big ideas. He joked, acted, and made learning fun. People started calling him the curious mind of Pisa. One famous story says that Galileo climbed the Leaning Tower of Pisa with two metal balls. One ball was heavy, the other light. Students gathered below, whispering and waiting. Galileo dropped both balls at the same time. To everyone's shock, both balls hit the ground together. The crowd gasped. Galileo smiled. This small event challenged ideas people had believed for centuries. The news spread quickly, and many professors became angry. But Galileo was not afraid. He believed that truth should not depend on old books, it should come from real experiments. Galileo later became a teacher in Padua. He lived in a small house with simple furniture but a warm atmosphere. Students filled his rooms every evening, sitting on chairs, floors, and sometimes even on stairs. They listened to him talk about motion, the stars, and new inventions. Galileo also invented many tools, like a military compass and a stronger telescope design. He sold some inventions to support his family because his salary was never enough. One ordinary evening changed everything. Galileo heard about a strange new invention from the Netherlands, a tube that could make faraway things look closer. He sat at his desk, lit a candle, and began drawing shapes. After nights of trying and failing, he built his own telescope, better than the original. When he pointed it at the sky for the first time, he felt a shock. The moon was not smooth, it had mountains and holes like Earth. He saw stars that no one had counted before. He saw moons circling Jupiter. He saw things that challenged the beliefs people had followed for thousands of years. He wrote a book about what he saw, and suddenly he became famous across Europe. People rushed to read his discoveries. Some were excited, but many powerful people were angry. The idea that Earth was not the center of everything scared them. Religious leaders said Galileo's ideas were dangerous, but Galileo believed in truth. He wrote again and again, explaining his observations in simple language so everyone could understand. As Galileo grew older, the pressure against him increased. Church leaders called him for questioning. They told him to stop teaching ideas that disagreed with old beliefs. Galileo tried to stay calm, but he was deeply hurt. He was a man who loved truth, not trouble. Yet he stood strong, saying that what he saw through his telescope could not be denied. After more conflict, he was forced to say he was wrong and was kept under house arrest for the rest of his life. Even while trapped at home, Galileo continued working. His eyesight slowly faded, but his mind stayed bright. Students visited him quietly, bringing papers, ink, and simple tools. Sometimes Galileo touched their hands and smiled, saying, "The truth is still out there. Keep searching." He wrote his final book, filled with ideas about motion that shaped the future of science. In 1642, at the age of 77, Galileo passed away. His house was quiet, but his ideas had already taken flight. Today, people remember him as the father of modern science, the man who dared to look at the sky differently, who questioned old beliefs, who believed in evidence, and who changed our understanding of the universe forever. Galileo's story teaches us a simple lesson. Great discoveries often begin with small moments like watching a swinging lamp or dropping two balls from a tower. Curiosity, courage, and determination can change the world. And sometimes, one person's questions can open the door to a new future for everyone. Thank you for watching this story on Glorious English. If Galileo's courage inspired you, remember, one brave idea can change the whole world. Keep learning, keep dreaming, and keep improving your English every day. See you in the next story.